Being easy to overeat is different than being addictive. We know that ultra-processed foods are not as satiating as whole foods, in part because of how their hyperpalatability affects our dopamine signaling, the reward centers in our brain, and likely in part also because they require less chewing. Although for both of those, we need more science to understand all of the mechanisms. Regardless of why they are easier to overeat, that's still different than them being addictive. Now, I'm going to wait for Dr. Kevin Hall's new study to be published, since that is reported to be the nail in the coffin of ultra-processed foods being addictive narrative. But let's talk about why you crave ultra-processed foods. You crave them because of restrictive dieting and associative learning. Restrictive dieting, where you cut out a bunch of foods, obsessively measure what you do eat, is well known to increase food fixation, food obsession, to magnify cravings, to decrease how much control we have when we do eat those foods, to increase the risk of disordered eating behaviors, and it drives the diet yo-yo. You crave those foods because you tell yourself they're bad and you're not allowed to have them. In addition, a key driver of our taste preferences is associative learning. Think about when you go on a diet and you don't let yourself have a bunch of foods. Think about the types of situations where you finally have that food. A birthday party, or you're traveling. You had a crazy stressful day and you just need comfort, and food is what's there to give it to you. Or you skipped meals earlier in the day and now you're starving and you just can't help yourself. You need it. Think of the relief when you finally get that piece of cake or that handful of chips. You've been restricting it and now you get to eat it and it just tastes so good. Better than you remember. You're creating an association with those foods and a sense of relief, comfort, satisfaction, celebration. Because diet culture teaches us to moralize those foods, tells us we need to cut them out. And because that is an unsustainable approach to healthy diet. Every cycle of that you do solidifies the associative learning that makes you crave those foods. It is different biochemical and neurological pathways than addiction. And the way you fix it is by ditching the restrictive diet mentality. Stop thinking of ultra-processed foods as bad. Yes, we don't want them to dominate our diets, but getting up to 20% of our calories from them poses no health harm. So we can use them as tools for healthy diet consistency, incorporating them intentionally to make sure we're getting enough joy from our overall healthy eating patterns that we can keep it up for life. And if that approach sounds intriguing, you would love my book, Nutrivore, available wherever books are sold, but most discounted on Amazon. And if you're not following me yet, you probably want to.